KG5EIU. Going to show you how to update your firmware in an Elecraft K4D. Going to be upgrading from a beta 2 to a beta 3 release. It's pretty easy. Press and hold the FN button, and then press and hold the software list update button, and that'll bring you to a software update screen. Press and hold the check for updates, and you can see we have a new release out there. It's the B3, and all you have to do is hit the install button, and it goes out over the Ethernet port from the K4, assuming you have the K4 connected to your home network, and downloads the firmware and performs the firmware update. Moving into the R36B3 release, just out today, October 1st, 2024. The rumor is, I haven't read the release notes, but I'm being told, looking at the groups.io page, that many updates to the remote feature set has been included in this release, and I'm excited to get all those enhancements and features. The remote feature in the K4 when you're connecting up to another K4 over the internet's really amazing. I've seen them all. The ICOM versions, I used to own a Flex, and I have to say the K4 implementation, or the Elecraft implementation of remote operation from radio to radio, is by far the most simple I've ever used. So I'm excited to see what this new firmware will bring. This doesn't take too long. This is real time. It's kind of a one and done here for this video. So we'll see what happens here on the reboot. Good things, I'm sure. I participated in the RIDI contest last weekend, and the radio performed flawlessly during the whole contest. I was in and out on the contest. I had chores and other things to do, but I did participate, and the radio performed great. So we're getting some new DSP code here. Again, another live look at upgrading the firmware in Elecraft K4D ham radio. Getting close now. Here we go with the reboot. Well, not quite reboot. DAP. Whatever that is. So out on the groups.io page for Elecraft K4. I see Wayne N6KR has some notes out there. We should almost be done here. So I'm going to read some of the DVR message transmit functions now available for remote connections. Major revisions to the TX-RX sequencing in K4 Remote. Reduced RX audio latency, improved audio quality and dropout recovery. External FSK keying of client now works. Push to talk action is passed to the server. Antenna name display and enabled with antenna config when you're in remote mode. Correct antenna names used in remote mode. RX DYN optimization menu entry now working in remote. Mouse left and right button QSY menu entry now working in remote. So again, all this is out on the groups.io page. There's a few things for non-remote, some transverter stuff, RA plus, RA minus commands, attenuator control basically, new buffer latency setting commands. So RF load right now. Again, this is real time, live recording, updating to the beta release for K4D R36B3. And it's so nice they just make this upgrade process really easy. No files to download, no web links. Just hit a couple of buttons and you'll get a new radio basically. There are some known remote issues, K4 remote issues posted out there by Wayne. Logging considerations for remote contacts. Frequency memories. The current implementation saves quick memory and GP memory data on the client radio for each individual server you connect to. The TX main RX sub RX functions. During remote operation, most functions apply to the server radio. In the future, an asterisk will be added to all the functions that apply to the server. So that kind of makes sense. RF firmware installed with success. That's looking good. And the last known issue is transferring XVTR menu functions not yet implemented over remote. So software is up to date. We're going to we're going to hit the exit button, and the radio is going to reboot. And we're just going to let it run, and you'll see the whole reboot here. Getting some popping and clicking on the internal speaker. Here we go with a reboot. TX. The LEDs on the dial are lit up right now. Here we go with a reboot. And the radio's up. It's back on the air. Let's see if the recording picks up where it left off. I may have to plug and unplug that to get that going. But the radio's back up. I had no issues with the reboot. I'll go back in and look at the software update. You can't see it on the screen, but I am running R36B3. So that's it. That's all there is to upgrade the K4. This is David, KG5EIU. We'll catch you on the airwaves, 7-3.